Pat Becker here at Becker Capital. Happy New Year. I'm here with TJ McConville, our Chief Investment Officer. Both TJ and I and everyone here at Becker Capital hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Right, TJ?
Yeah, Pat, it's great to start the year off feeling refreshed. And as we know, these times are good for looking back at the year that was, but also for looking ahead.
That forward-looking perspective is something we value here at Becker Capital, and it's a theme that runs throughout our presentation today.
In this update, we'll offer our perspectives on the financial market and the outlook for the year.
And we'll share some exciting news about an event next month that we'll be inviting you to that we call Perspectives. Stay tuned for more on that, but first, let's hear from TJ.
It's that time of year when many of you head to the slopes. Even if you've never snapped into a pair of skis, our theme of perspective is something you can appreciate. You get to the top of a mountain on a clear day and you can see for miles. Then you head down the run and life happens in real time. That's a good analogy to investing. Just as with skiing, it's important to stop every so often and get a clearer view of where you're going. That's perspective, and in investing, that's really important. Now, there's no disputing that 2022 was a difficult year in financial markets. In fact, it was the worst year for stocks since 2008 and the worst for bonds in more than 50 years. That's a heck of a lot different than 2021 when stocks were up nearly 30%. Sure feels like ancient history now. Now, over those past 2 years, markets are still up, but that perspective is easily lost in challenging periods like 2022. As we've discussed a lot these last few quarters, inflation and interest rates dominated the markets in 2022. And while these issues won't disappear in 2023, we don't think they'll take up all the oxygen in the room. Instead, we see a shift in focus away from inflation and rates and toward the rest of the economy and earnings. In other words, attention on gas and grocery prices going up shifts to paychecks and profits potentially going down. Now, from a high-level view, economic activity is slowing and profits are likely to decline. We get asked a lot about recession, and it's clear that the chances of one have increased recently. So there are potentially a few more bumps ahead in the near term for stocks. But there's still room for optimism for several reasons. First, we're increasingly upbeat on bonds, both from a near-term perspective where there's finally yield again, and from a longer-term perspective due to the current valuations and our expectation that we will get diversification from holding bonds. Second, the repricing that took place in 2022 in stocks has resulted in far better valuations today. Even if we're right about near-term volatility, our long-term return expectations are better today than they were a year ago. And third, returning to more traditional market drivers like the economy and earnings should benefit portfolios that use a rigorous research approach like ours. Owning high-quality companies that trade at reasonable prices is more important now than ever. In investing, as in skiing, it's important to assess and manage risks, while at the same time maintaining the long view. The keys, as always, are investing for the long term, diversifying your portfolio, and sticking to your plan. Now let's hear from Pat.
We've got some exciting news to share with you all today about a major event we're hosting this spring, live and in person. But first, let me say, it was a tough year for the markets. Even though the markets were volatile in 2022, Becker Capital was strong and consistent. We hired great talent and we grew our client base. One validation of the good year that Becker Capital had was the Portland Business Journal surveyed 3,500 C-suite executives in Oregon. We were once again recognized as one of the top 10 most admired financial service companies in the state. Maybe more important, we were ranked among the top 10 medium-sized companies for corporate philanthropy. I'm proud of not only the funds we've contributed, but also the thousands of volunteer hours that our employees give back to the community. I know it's something you appreciate too, and we thank you for your support. And now, about that event. This March, for the first time since the pandemic, we're happy to announce we're holding our Perspectives event called the AI Revolution at the Portland Art Museum. There'll be food and drinks, of course, And the program is going to be super interesting, featuring a panel discussion on artificial intelligence. Our panelists will share their knowledge and insights into this new technology and how it's increasingly influencing how we live, work, and play. And yes, how we invest. You'll be joined by Eric Sprunk, the former Chief Operating Officer at Nike, Kellen Carter, the founder and partner at Fuse Capital in Seattle, one of the epicenters for AI investing, and Rachel Foltz, Managing Director from Endeavor Capital out of their LA office. It's a topic we're deeply interested in here at Becker Capital. I think you'll find the conversation fascinating. You'll be receiving an invitation soon, so be on the lookout and make sure you RSVP. We've been talking a lot about the value of having a sense of perspective.
That's right. And as we start the new year, one important thing we've reflected on is gratitude. We're so grateful for the trust and confidence you've placed in us, and we hope the new year brings you and your family peace, prosperity, and of course, good health.
We'll look forward to serving you in the coming year and helping you achieve your financial goals. Thanks again for being a vital part of the Becker Capital family.